Shifters, entrepreneurs on the move, with your host, Amanda Barr, bringing you power-packed 15-minute conversations with entrepreneurs who share their stories of shifting in life and business to keep on the move.
I am so glad you're able to join us today. This is your host, Amanda Barr, and I've got a special guest for you. We've got Matt Weinglass, the director and CEO of Sherwood Players Productions, a Los Angeles-based production company specializing in multi-platform services for content creators and filmmakers with strong community outreach. The company is focused on creating original content with purpose that is entertaining, thought-provoking, and rooted in cause-driven storytelling with international offices and partners. Matt is currently co-producing the psychological thriller Masha's Mushroom, starring Tara Reid, Vivica A. Fox, and Beverly D'Angelo. Wow, I'm so excited for today. Matt, welcome to the show.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you for having me, Amanda. It's great to be with you.
Absolutely. And I know I already feel like we start off in a high note, but I'd love to dive in to find out more about you. Tell our listeners a little bit about yourself and how you got to where you are today.
Okay, great. Yeah, no, I'm, just like anybody coming to this big city of Los Angeles, trying to, go for the big dream. I think I did, it was years ago, like a lot of other people wanting to, get into the entertainment industry. I found out early that it was a really good idea to kind of surround yourself with like-minded people, not just people that are, looking to, make it big, but people that understood the power in team. I think so. That was something that me, and I say we because it's always been a we for me since I've been in LA. I've never felt on my own, and so just going through those struggles together in a team, there was always power in numbers. So that's something that I found that lesson out early. So with that, I did all the different, tried different things, tried different, approaches, as far as, being a writer, being an actor, being a producer. But the community itself started to grow, and, the concept of Sherwood Players was something that, I pulled out. I had played with it a little bit earlier in college, up in Santa Barbara, but once being in LA for a few, so once being in LA for a few years, I was able to kind of pull that concept out again. Sherwood, coming from the Sherwood Forest, Robin Hood and the Merry Men, kind of, that whole thing.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I was going to ask you, what is Sherwood Players? Because it's kind of a unique name. What does that actually mean?
Well, that's the thing. So, like, when you look at Robin Hood, the old tale is that it's like Robin Hood and his merry men. They're basically, you've heard this, the stealing from the rich, giving to the poor, but there is an emphasis on the people and, like, kind of fingers in the dirt, kind of attack plan approach to giving something of value to the people. So I guess I consider the art we create, the stories we tell, I consider that valuable things that we give to people, and we do it for the audience, not just for ourselves. Oh, look at me, I'm so great. No, I have a message, I have a story, something of value I want to share. So not just entertain people, but educating them at the same time, giving them something to take away from. So that's kind of been always the approach of the Sherwood concept.
Wow, that's really special. Thank you for sharing that. That takes it to a whole new level. And what got you passionate about the storytelling and about sharing those stories?
Well, here's the thing, like, when you realize that, like, there's only so many stories in Hollywood that can be told, right? So you got this, like, I don't know if you heard this, Amanda, this idea that there's like maybe 15 different stories that get recycled all the time. And so it's something, so like, as in a writer's room, they're always trying to figure out, how do we approach this and make it feel fresh and new? For me, I guess I felt like, there's a lot of truth in that, but at the same time, if you take one of those same stories we've heard over and over, and there's a message behind it, there's something you're doing, like a cause behind it, where you're investigating something. Like one of the first, when we were doing theater up in Santa Barbara, one of the very first things we did is we explored, and this was years ago. This is before way before the Me Too movement, but we had explored, sexual assault, and it was going on the campus up there, and it was going on in that environment of the college campus. So this is at the campus of UC Santa Barbara. And so we explored this concept of sexual assault, and we did this play called Extremities, and we put it up. We put it up for the students. Now, here's the thing. It wasn't just, oh, look at this awesome play where there's all these acting opportunities for people to look good and put up a good show, but there was a message. We're saying something about something that was relating to people in the audience. So we were talking to them, and so we got. Right. I remember it was like it was the very first thing we did up there, and we had the Women's Center got involved, and they said, we want to support this production, and so they started to market it and started to put it out there. And so this is something that I have a few business partners I work with now, years later, and we do other projects together. And they came up with this concept. I never knew it had a name before. They call it cause-driven marketing. And so this is something I thought back years ago to when we did that production on campus, and I realized, man, that's what we were doing. We were instinctually doing that, cause-worthy marketing. And so, and now I realize that's something that's from an entrepreneur, from just the point of view of what your brand looks like, what you're putting out there, that you're getting people to get behind you because they believe in making a difference. And so that goes so much further than, hey, check out my new play or my new movie or my new pilot or whatever. But it's something of a cause behind it.
I love that, the tribe mentality. If you can create a tribe and create a movement just like that, a cause, you can get a whole bunch of people on board. They'll feel connected. I love that. I love it. Cause-driven marketing.
And I can tell you, I have to credit my business partners right now, Michael Houlihan and Bonnie Harvey, who I work with now on this audiobook business. We started working with them. When I say we, I mean my company, Sherwood Players Productions. We started working with them about 1.5 years ago when we took on their New York Times bestseller. It's called The Barefoot Spirit, and they're the creators of Barefoot Wine. If you've heard it, have you heard of Barefoot Wine?
I love Barefoot. Yeah, that's
you love Barefoot Wine. These guys built a $1 million empire. It took them about 20 years to do it. They started with nothing, and they wrote a book about it, about how they, as entrepreneurs, they were able to build this brand and make it basically it became America's #1 top wine. And they did it in a way that was very similar to kind of the Sherwood Players way. And so when we got together, it just kind of made sense that we kind of had the same kind of approach to business ethics and like just kind of approach to what we're putting out there. And so we told their story in a really awesome way. We took the New York Times book, which is called The Barefoot Spirit. We basically put it into audiobook format, and I got a whole cast of characters from our community to voice roles. We got a sound designer. We got, original music, sound effects. So the whole thing is like this cinematic experience for your ears, not just a narrator, talking to you for 7 hours, but it's like an entire
I have to go check that out. That sounds way better than just a normal, someone just speaking through. But you've actually brought a whole cast and crew for an audiobook?
Yes. And so So the success of that book, we were nominated for a few audio awards. I know you heard it. I didn't even know what those were, but we found out about the audio awards, which happens in New York every January. So we were able to do to experience that with them this past January, and right before the lockdown, which was that's a whole nother story. But we were able to do that, and since then we've been working with them, putting together this business audio theater concept, and they're reaching out to other CEOs of other brands, other companies that want to have their story told as well in an entertaining way, like using our company. So we're doing that right now. Awesome.
Well, I'd love to know. I mean, it sounds like you've kind of You had an idea, you built it out, and you've got this great team. But I'd love to hear about some of the shifts, maybe either challenges or opportunities you faced, and how you've shifted forward.
Well, yeah, that's a great question, Amanda. I have to tell you, like, I think we're all dealing with challenges right now during these COVID times. You know, and so that's something that I know hit everybody. And I hate, telling my sob story, because I know a lot of people are dealing with much worse, their businesses shutting down and everything kind of, having to start from scratch. And so I don't want to, put my story out there like it's this big sob story, but I can tell you that, yes, we were affected. Our company, we really, before COVID, we were really about interactive events where we bring people together. We were doing so many, like, just where we bring people together, like, industry guests. A lot of times we had workshops, just even screenings and parties and things where people can meet and connect and build their network. Everything was in person. That's how we did it. That's how you build, that rapport, you build that camaraderie. So what do you do when all that is gone? That's the thing. So obviously, okay, let's go online, right? Let's go on Zoom. So we started doing some of that. For me personally, I haven't been too crazy about it. Some other people are like, oh, this is awesome. We get on these little Zoom workshops, things like that. But I don't like it. I don't like it at all. I miss that interaction. So we have to look for other ways to engage with each other. So yeah, it's something we're struggling with right now. But I don't know. It's one of those things. Like I guess one of the things I figured out during these times, I figured out that when you are networking, you're talking to people on a Zoom call, or you're having phone calls, and you're talking about potential projects and working together in the future, I always suggest, let's meet up. I always do that. And these patio restaurants are open and these cafes are open right now. And you sit on the patio, and some people are really nervous to do that. But I suggest it anyways. And I want to see if we can just get a face-to-face. Yeah, okay, you have to wear your mask. You have to go out there. You sit down. The waiter comes up. You order whatever. You order your iced tea or your coffee. And then you start having a conversation. And so I try to make that happen still right now. And what I notice is by the end of those interactions, you're able to, like, okay, so like you meet the person, you can't shake hands anymore, right? So there's no handshakes.
Right.
But it's interesting that by the end of like an hour and a half, you're with somebody. By the end, you're actually like hugging goodbye. It's a fascinating thing that happens. It's crazy, but people just need to get comfortable and get out of that state of fear, I think. So I mean, not to get too activism and political and stuff, but I just think that there is something about removing that fear factor that really helps open us up mentally, spiritually, that whole thing, and gets us back on track to what is it that we're trying to accomplish and how we're trying to, keep our relationships healthy and moving forward.
Yeah, I think that this time has really taught a lot, I mean, to myself included, and I think a lot of other people, the power of, like, really being connected with people. Yes, we can do it via phone, and Zoom is a new way to connect with people, and then, just enjoying that face-to-face, being able to be with somebody in person, and how valuable that is on both sides, and building the relationship. So thank you for sharing that. I think, as other people are moving through this, and kind of giving them an opportunity too to say, okay, so I can get out and I can meet people, and I can, we've been a big proponent of how do you move your business forward, even in the toughest of time. Like, it seems very difficult, but there are opportunities. So how can you shift and find them to move your business forward?
Totally. And maybe it just takes like that little bit of inspiration, like, hey, oh my God, maybe I don't have to do everything from my house. Maybe I can go outside. And again, I don't mean to get so, activism here and political, but it's true for us as entrepreneurs. We have to be bold. We have to be brave. We have to take risks. I mean, isn't that the whole point of being an entrepreneur? Is taking risks?
It's taking
right?
risks, absolutely. We are the risk.
Isn't that the whole
out there more?
like? What are we doing? Why? Like who? Like like, you know, and I do feel bad for the you know, the office workers and the, you know, the plumbers and the, you know, the teachers. Oh my God, especially the teachers. I mean, you feel bad for all these people, but like, and not to say they're not risk takers, but we are in the business of risk taking. That's what we do. We don't get those 9-to-5 job. We don't go out there and work these office jobs and things like. We work for ourselves, and so we're in this business of taking risks. So when the government does a shutdown, or when we say you have to do this now, we've always said, wait a minute, how do I do it a different way? We've always done that. So why stop now?
Yeah.
That's kind of my point. Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, I'm interested to know, because I know you sound passionate. I know you're passionate. When it comes to like refilling the tanks and like shifting your business forward, where do you go for that? Are you listening to audiobooks, or where are you getting filled up to shift forward? Are you doing that internally? How's that for you?
Okay, well, sometimes you can get stuck in the YouTube rabbit hole, of course. But yeah, no, I do. I always take recommendations from people. There's a lot of great you know, public speakers that are doing stuff online now. I always, you know, just, you know, the ones we all know, like the Tony Robbins, and there's some great ones out there that'll keep us inspired, keep us motivated. So I always say, just go to the people that you respect and trust and ask them, what are you doing? And they will tell you, they'll give you some ideas. But yeah, it's good to, I think, like I said earlier, it's always good to surround yourself with like-minded people that understand the same values and the things that you understand, and you share those values. So we want to continue to reach out to those type of people while we're in, I guess, quote unquote, isolation. Yeah.
Right.
So,
right. Now,
so I mean, what about you? Like, what kind of inspiration are you? And I know what you're doing with this show is amazing, and you're getting people to you know, share ideas and share what they do. But I mean, what kind of stuff have you come up with? Because I like to share with my community as well, that, you know, things that I haven't thought of. You know.
Yeah, you know, I mean, one is I'm always inspired by those that come on the show. I mean, the stories that are told, the things people go through. I think when we get to hear, like you're, you know, bringing these stories out, everybody's got a story, and everybody has a purpose here, and has gifts to give. And I think that hearing those stories and hearing the people that have started with nothing, or maybe they started with something and they just were fearful or in doubt and they overcame it, that's, for me, it's like fuel. It's like, okay, I can do it too. and so this show is kind of two-part. I mean, I get filled up, and I also get to give back. Thing I did take away from some others, like Tony Robbins, is like, if you're going to be in this world, like, and you're going to tell other people, you need to live it. And kind of holding that bar really high for myself, and then also bringing that to the table. So yeah, that's just a little bit.
No, it's great. I love it.
Yeah, but I would love to know, like, if, you know, as we kind of talk through, and you're doing these great big projects, and you've got your incredible business, and you've shifted through, and you're making a way in this journey of where we are today, if you could go back, you know, we have people listening to this show that are from all different walks of life in their entrepreneurial journey. They might be just starting out, and they might be already super successful. But I love this question. If you could just go back to the start, what would you wish you would have known then?
Well, I would say this, and this is specifically to the entrepreneur artists out there who want to be these successful storytellers, you know, whatever, they're actors, writers, producers, directors. I'll talk to them, and I'm going to say this: know the business of the business. That's everything. That's everything. And when I say business of the business, I mean that behind this entertainment industry, there are bankers, and there are number crunchers. There are people that sit down and they look at the charts and the graphs. They look at what is making money, what is not making money, and they look at how to structure these projects that you want to do so bad. Well, I want to sell my pilot. I wrote a great script. I'm gonna submit it to all these online, you know, writing contests, and I'm gonna win the top prizes. Okay, but do you know anything about how to structure that project? Do you understand the fundamentals of the economics? Okay, so I didn't take any business classes in college. I remember everybody told me I should have been doing it because I had my company on campus and I was doing business things, but everyone's like, you should be doing business classes. That's what the word was around campus, but I never did. But if I could go back, I would tell them, you're right. Not only should I be doing these classes, you all should be doing it. You all should be doing. You should be taking these economics 101. I'm not kidding, and I'm saying in the regards to the industry of the entertainment. I'm telling you, like even right now, the project I'm working on right now, this psychological thriller you mentioned in my intro, which I appreciated. Amasha's Mushroom. It's a fantastic film. We got a fantastic crew behind it. We have Tara Reid. She's actually producing with me. Tara Reid if you guys remember from American Pie. She's Sharknado, so she's big. She's been in big franchises. What I understand working with her now and working with some of the other people, some of these amazing people on this team, as we're structuring this film, we're barely into pre-production. We're structuring the business side of it right now. Okay, and so what we're doing is we're figuring out what sells. So we're working with our sales company. We're working with our investor teams. We're figuring out what is going to sell this. If you are an investor and you're saying, I want to put money into a film, what is going to make me make this a low risk investment? That's the stuff that the artist doesn't think of. The writer of the script or the actor attached. These are the things that we are structuring right now. And I know we don't have too much time, so I'm not going to get into all of the details. But the idea is that you have to start thinking. If I go back, I would try and figure out how to think from the other side and not just from, oh my God, I have this awesome story to tell, and why should I invest in your film? Why should I invest in you? Like that's the question we always are trying to answer as artists. Like, oh, why should I cast you? Why should I work with you? Well, because it's a good story. No. Oh, because everyone's going to love this, and and I'm great, and I'm going to be an amazing, and we have amazing cast, and they're fantastic, and the director's a genius, the director's brilliant. No, those aren't the answers. The answer to why should I invest in you and your project is because this is why, because it's going to make you money. That's it. How do you know that? Well, because we've crunched the numbers. We understand the economic makeup of this investment. That's everything. Otherwise, there's no reason to do it. That's it.
Absolutely. That's great. Great advice. I mean, I think probably, a good number of people are probably shaking their head. Yes. Yeah. Definitely, go back and learn that. I know that's some of my stuff too. I took some of those classes, but I don't remember them. And that's the thing is like, even if you do take them, like you might need a brush up. Like this stuff is real time when you get into the real game and you're having to put this stuff into place and also bringing those people on to know what they're doing, at least for the first time through, so you can have some guidance. And it sounds like you've got a team to get you through, and that's incredible.
Yes, and it is incredible, and it's incredible to have the right people in the right places too, which we all know instinctually. We all know that you got to have the right, just like even just a cast, like you have the right people in the right roles, like acting. Guess what? It's the same behind the scenes. It's you got to have the right producers, the right line producer that knows how to that understands the numbers and isn't going to screw everything up. You got the right cinematographer, you got the right the right sound crew, the right location manager. I mean, all those things. So you got the right person in the right job, and everybody clicks. It's like chemistry all around. Now you got a team. That's what it's about.
I love it. Well, I mean, we could go on and on because you're filled with incredible information, and I know that these nuggets are going to be highly valuable to those listening today. And what I mean, for those that are, if they were to want to come work with you, or maybe give them a few ways that you could be a resource to them, or how they can get involved, and the best way to get in touch with you.
Definitely. Well, first of all, you can go right to our website, sherwoodplayers.com. It's pretty easy. This is just how it sounds, sherwoodplayers.com. And from there, you can see some of the stuff we have coming up, things we have in the works. You can email me directly from the site. You can kind of go to our team and see the people we have involved and some of the stuff we have going on right now. And that's the way to do it. And then from there, we can invite you into some of the more, the more private stuff. We have a private Facebook group, so I'll be able to invite people into that if they want to contact me personally. And then you can get really up-to-date information on how we're maneuvering right now and being creative during these COVID times.
Incredible. Oh, man, thank you so much for being on the show and inspiring me today. Thank you for telling your story. And definitely looking forward to, what's to come for you and also your movie coming out. Do you have a time frame on when it's coming?
No, we don't have a time frame on the release yet, but we're structuring the shooting schedule right now. So we'll have updates for you. They'll be on our website and on the IMDb page as well. You can find me on IMDb and on LinkedIn as well. Just type in, Matt Weinglass, W-E-I-N, not like how it actually is spelled, but it's W-E-I-N-G-L-A-S-S. You can find me on both those platforms. And yeah, we'll have updates on the film and other stuff as well.
Awesome. Yeah, we'll include those links for those listening in the description, so you can actually go straight to the platforms and get connected. And thank you so much, Matt, for being on the show.
Thank you so much, Amanda. It was awesome talking to you. This is great. I love what you're doing. This is a great show. Love it.
It means the world. It means the world. Thank you so much. And for all those listening today, keep on the move.
We hope you enjoyed the episode today. We appreciate each one of you for listening and hope you left inspired and motivated to keep on the move. If you think this episode might help or inspire someone else, please share. Don't forget to subscribe and keep in the loop to hear more incredible stories of entrepreneurs like yourself on the move. Thank you for our supporters, RTB Capital Group, Financial Powerhouse, Callcast, and Power Podcasting. Now, get out there and keep on the move.